Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Soccer Showdown. Jersey Joe Archino and Michael Holzer once again kicking it off, and we just broke down the UEFA Champions League, and we are moving into a little bit more about soccer news, philosophies, questions. You've got it all right here, so let's start it off. Michael, a couple months ago, ESPN they brought up a very good arguments asking who is the third best player in world football. We all kind of understand Messi and Ronaldo are 1 and 2. There's no debate who the two best players in the world are. But there are a lot of great footballers out there. Who is number 3?
Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
I like the answer.
Yeah, I think Zlatan is unbelievable. Like, for his size, his touch is unbelievable. He consistently scores goals, and he scores unbelievable goals which no one scores. And yeah, I think Zlatan Ibrahimovic is my number 3.
I love Zlatan. I gotta be honest. I would definitely consider him as my third best player in the world. You watch him play for Paris Saint-Germain. His size is the thing that's gotta impress you the most. I mean, he's just a physical specimen on the field. Everything that he can do. Really like that selection. But I've got to be the biased Manchester City fan and go with my man Sergio Aguero. I look at the Premier League and I just have that philosophy where if you can succeed and thrive in the Premier League, you really will translate well with any league. And I look at him and what he's done in all competitions. I mean, what he's done against Bayern Munich and against all these other clubs that he's faced off against. He's really dominated, and I think for a lot of the season, Yaya Toure, for the matches he hasn't been there, that's like the physical protector for City, and it helps make things a lot easier, and he's done a lot of things without that protection. I think Sergio Aguero is a good case. Now, I want you to comment on this one, Neymar for Barcelona. Now, I love Neymar. You got to love everything that he can do for Barca, but I mean, there's just not a ton of room there. I mean, you've got Messi, Suarez, Neymar. There's a lot of guys there who want opportunities to score. Where do you rank him in terms of best players in the world right now?
I mean, I would definitely rank Neymar top 5 because in the World Cup, you see Neymar did a lot for Brazil.
Yes, fantastic.
And yeah, I definitely think that Neymar is one of the best players in the world. I wouldn't say top 3, but I would say top 5. And yeah, because in order to be in the top 3, I think he should try to go somewhere else after he played for Barcelona. But a good example is Cristiano Ronaldo. He played in the Premier League very well for Manchester City, went to Real Madrid, and he continues playing well. So that's why I think Cristiano Ronaldo showed that he can play in different teams, world class. And yeah, that's the reason why Cristiano Ronaldo is the best or the second best player in the world.
Absolutely, and it's all about, I mean, when you can succeed in the Premier League at the level he did with Manchester United, you could do it in a lot of other places, and he most certainly has. But let's backtrack for 1 minute before we get to the next part. And Sergio Aguero, where do you rank him in the top 5 in the world? If you rank him in the top 5.
I would rank him. I'm being honest, I don't watch always Manchester City. I watch a lot more Bundesliga and I watch more La Liga. But every time I watched him, I have to agree, he always played good. And every time I watched him, he scored. So you're probably the better expert, but everyone talks about Sergio Aguero in the Premier League. So yeah, he's a very good player, and I know he is, but I gotta watch him more to rank him in the top 5.
Fair, I like it. You gotta be honest, and very cool there. But let's move a little. You obviously, for people who listen to the show now, I'm sure most people know, you were a pretty big player with Iona Soccer. I mean, pretty good you were there. But we kind of wanted to ask you about your training for soccer, because I think a lot of people always are a little interested in how you train properly. What's the most essential part? Is it a lot of endurance training? Is it a lot about lifting? Is it a lot about watching videotape to break down film? What was your kind of routine to prepare for matches?
I mean, a little bit of everything. I mean, we started off Monday and with practice. I mean, there's 2 different schedules. There's a schedule in the spring and a schedule in the fall. And these schedules are very different because in the fall you have the season and in the spring you have no season. So let's just talk about the fall season.
Yeah.
In the fall season, we usually play Wednesdays and Saturdays. That means we have Sunday off. But on Wednesday and Saturdays, there's obviously the game. So Tuesday and Friday are lighter. So you're not going to be tired for the game. So that means Tuesday and Friday we have lighter training sessions with around an hour, not too hard. After practice, we have video sessions to prepare for the opponent. Our coach always goes through the lineup of the opponent. He mentions all the strengths and weaknesses of every player, how they're doing in terms of NCAA, how are they ranked in the league, how many games they won, how many games they lost, other special features of the team. Yeah, and we usually always got prepared with film. We watched a game of them, we watched clips, and yeah, and he's talking about size. Like, it was very detailed. I was very impressed. Very deep, very detailed scouting reports of the teams. And also after the games, we always met to analyze how we played, what we could have done better, what was good, and all these things. So in terms of video is very important also in soccer, because that's where you can see yourself play and what you did good, what you did wrong, and to do it better in the future.
Very interesting. And take me through your routine before a match. We see a lot of guys. Some guys are they have to do one thing one way, and if they don't do it, it's going to kind of screw things up. Did you have a routine before you played a match?
Yeah, I mean, I always put on my left cleat before my right cleat.
See, I like stuff like that. That's interesting.
And I always had to drink a sip of water before a game.
Okay.
I always had to do that, like right before, like we're walking into the field. Then the referee is deciding what team is on what side, and then before that I was sprinting to the water bottles and get a sip, and then I could play. And I also always drank kind of an energy drink.
Okay.
For a game, like sometimes coffee. I'm a little bit superstition.
Hey, I like that. It's
Yeah.
cool. It's cool to find out, because we see so much that every athlete has kind of their own type of thing before to get ready. It doesn't matter if it's soccer, if it's baseball, if it's football, whatever it is. Every athlete seems to have their little thing. So, of course, we had to ask you what yours was. But let's go on now a little bit to the MLS to finish out the show. You have trained with New York City FC, which, I mean, is just so cool. Their season's going to be starting before we know it. They're playing a lot of exhibition matches now, getting ready for their season. The thing I wanted to talk to you about kind of is what do you think is their mentality kind of at the start of the season? Because we all kind of understand one of the highlights for them was Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard, a legend of the English Premier League, coming over to there, but they were going to have to wait till June for the Premier League season to end for him to come. Is there going to be a little bit of distraction there for them, because they're always going to be thinking about when is Frank Lampard going to get here?
I mean, it would be, of course, better if Frank Lampard would be already there.
Yes.
But I still think all the people here and also in New York, in all the New York greater area, are so excited to start watching this team. And I think they have a very good team even without Frank Lampard. They got a lot of good players. They have David Villa on top.
Yes.
Like one of the best scoring forwards ever. So I think New York City FC has high expectations. And I spoke to Jason Kreis, and he was the head coach of NYCFC, and they have very good, very high expectations. They have a philosophy that no one should take more than 2 touches on the ball. They want to have fast-paced play, and that's his philosophy, and that's how all his practices are. No one is allowed to take more than 2-3 touches. I'm not sure if that's my favorite philosophy, because sometimes I like to dribble a little bit.
Okay.
And being able to find solutions with more touches, but that's his philosophy. You got to stick to it, and let's see if it's successful.
Really interesting insight, and I mean, you really can't get that stuff anywhere else. So you'd say you learned a lot of stuff from your training sessions with them.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely learned a lot of things. He's very, very professional in his coaching. Sometimes he's a little bit mean, but that's just how he is. He just tries to focus of being a coach and to improve the team. And yeah, I definitely enjoy practice with them.
Awesome. I mean, I'm really couldn't be more excited for the season. When it comes along, we will, of course, be talking a lot about it here. But the one other club I wanted to talk about in the MLS right now is, of course, the LA Galaxy, which they're kind of also in that similar situation where Steven Gerrard, another Premier League legend, will be coming to them as soon as the Premier League season is over. And are they a little different, though, from City, where they have the established stars? They have the MVP of the league, Robbie Keane. They have a departing guy, Landon Donovan, who will no longer be there. What is their mindset right now with Gerrard kind of in the distance and still having a defending champion team?
I mean, LA Galaxy has always had a very, very dominant team. Like David Beckham played there.
Yeah.
And they always had like the big stars kind of, and their expectations is always to win it all, because it's Los Angeles Galaxy. Like they have a very big tradition, and they don't want to be in second place. They want to be in first place. And I mean, I've spoken to Nacho a little bit. He's like impressed by the quality, and he said like this team is unbelievable, and I trust him and I know him, and yeah, I think they have a big chance to get a title again.
Very cool. Well, hopefully we'll see you playing on the MLS pitch one day. You will have seen him first here on Soccer Showdown. That is going to do it for this week's 2 segments. We will be back next week breaking down everything in the world that happened. Thank you, though, Michael, as always, for joining me.
Thank you.
Great show as always. Everyone, we will see you next time.
See you Wednesday.